Hello students. In yesterday class we have discussed some of the problem based on the concept on chapters, and that we have just ended, that is magnetism and matter. So there are a number of problems based on the chapter we have discussed, and already every bit concept I have just discussed whenever I was telling you all the concepts. So here today let's discuss some of the numerical problem based on the chapter here. So the numerical problem first that we have discussed yesterday, the freely suspended magnet that was oscillating simple harmonically whenever we will just suspend that freely in external magnetic field. So due to the effect of the rotation, that bar magnet start to oscillate in simple harmonic way, and there we have seen the frequency and time period of the oscillation. So let's see the numerical problem based on that first, that is from the NCERT. So your question is given, a magnetic needle is free to oscillate in a uniform magnetic field. The magnetic needle has magnetic moment 6.7 ampere meter square, and moment of inertia is given for that, that is 7.5 into 10⁻⁶ kilometer meter square. Now it performs 10 complete oscillation in 6.70 seconds. Then what is the magnetic field? So here one thing is given to us, a magnetic needle that is free to oscillate in external magnetic field, and a number of facts we have to given, and we have to find out that value of external magnetic field. So let's just write the data that is given to us. So in this data, the first thing is given, that is the magnetic moment of the needle, and this is 6.7 ampere meter square. Next one factor is given to us, that is moment of inertia. So moment of inertia I is given to us, that is 7.5 into 10⁻⁶. Sorry, this should be kg meter square. And here the next factor is given to us, that is it complete 10 oscillation in 6.70 second. Means the time taken by it, that is 6.7 second to complete the number of oscillation, that is 10. So from here you can calculate first the time period of the oscillation. So as you know that the time period of the oscillation is given by the time taken to complete one oscillation. So we can calculate that by, as this is the time taken to oscillate 10 times, then for one time we can calculate it, that is 0.67 second here for the, this is the time period for the oscillation of the needle. Then next one, as you know that the time period is given by the formula, that is T is equal to 2 pi I upon mb. This one we have discussed yesterday already. So let's put the value of all the factor that we have, and that is given already. So here first, as we have to find out b, we can just calculate it as this is 4 pi square I upon m t square. Just take the square on both sides, and after that take b this side and arrange this in this way. And after arranging this one, then let's put the values here. So this is 4, this is 3.14 whole square. I is given to us, that is 7.5 into 10⁻⁻⁶ to us, and that is upon m is given, that is 6.7, and t is given to us, that is 0.67 whole square. So by using this whole formula and this whole values that are given to us, we can calculate what is the magnetic field. So the magnetic field after calculation, that is comes out to be 9.8 into 10⁻⁻⁵, 10⁻⁻5 Tesla. So this is our answer here. So easily by using the suspension and oscillation method, we can also calculate the external magnetic field. So that is, I think the first numerical is now clear. So students, the next question, numerical problem that we have, that is related to the bar magnet that we have discussed already in the chapter. So question is given, that is a short bar magnet placed in a horizontal plane has its axis aligned along the magnetic north-south direction. So null points are found on the axis of the magnet at 14 centimeter from the center of the magnet. And another thing is given, the Earth's magnetic field at the place is 0.36 Gauss and the angle of tip is 0. What is the total magnetic field on the normal bisector of the magnet at the same distance as null point, that is 14 centimeter from the center of the magnet? So first let's understand what the question is saying to us. So here the question is very simple. We have just put a bar magnet and its axis is aligned along the magnetic north-south direction. So suppose this is our magnetic north-south direction, and if this is north direction, this is south, then its axis is aligned along this one. Clear? Next one is given, null point are found on the axis of the magnet at 14 centimeter from the center of the magnet. So here if you will see the center of magnet, so this is the center of magnet. Suppose null point are found on the axis, it is given this is 14 centimeter away from the magnet, then we can say that suppose here this is a point P at which null points are found, and this distance is 14 centimeter. This is not precise, any of the distance can be here. Next one is the Earth's magnetic field at the place is 0.36. So at this place where we have got the null point, that is 0.36 Gauss. This is given to us. Next one is given, what is the total magnetic field on the normal bisector of the magnet at the same distance as the null point from the center of the magnet. So it is asked to us, whenever this null point will lie on this perpendicular bisector at 14 centimeter distance, then what will be the value of the magnetic field for this point? So let's just calculate this question. This is a little typical question that we have to just discuss here. So as in the previous question, first one, it is given that the null point is lying at the axis of the dipole. So we can calculate first, or we can see the axial magnetic field here. So axial magnetic field is given by, you know, that BA. This is for the bar magnet. This equation is given by mu 0 upon 4 pi 2m upon r cube. And now it is given that at the same distance r, that r is equal to 14 centimeter here. So from at the same distance at equatorial point, bisector means perpendicular bisector means we are talking for the equatorial point. So at this point we have to calculate what will be the value, total value of the magnetic field. Total value means we are talking Earth's magnetic field as well as we are talking for the bar magnetic field. So both magnetic field, if you will add that, then you can find out easily what will be the value of magnetic field. So here if you will just find out the equatorial or bisector, then that is by formula it obtained that we have discussed already before. So this is m upon r cube. So it means that this one is just half of the axial one. Just half of the axial one. And at axial point it is given already, there is the value of the magnetic field, that is 0.36. As this is null point means there is no effect of magnetic field of this bar magnet at this one. So here at this point the total magnetic field is 0.36. This is value of magnetic field here, this is upon 2. Means at this point the value will be for the magnetic field, this is 0.18 Gauss. This is due to the bar magnet first. But if you have to just find out the total magnetic field, it is not necessary that already here if we are getting null point, then at 14 centimeter here we will also get null point. It is not given in our question. Only it is given that we have to find out the total magnetic field at this point at perpendicular bisector here. So if we will find out that perpendicular bisector at this point, then that time here two types of magnetic field we will have. First, due to this bar magnet. Second, due to Earth's magnetic field. So as this is short bar magnet, we are taking its only 14 centimeter away. So the value of Earth's magnetic field, that will be same here. So it means that at this point, if we will talk for the magnetic field due to Earth here, if I will just take it as E. So this is given by 0.36 Gauss, and value of the magnetic field due to this bar magnet B equatorial we have got 0.18 Gauss. So the total magnetic field will be sum of these two magnetic fields at that point. So if you will add these two magnetic fields, then we can obtain the value, that is 0.54 Gauss. So this is our answer here. So it's very easy but little typical question. So just you have to draw the diagram that will help you to understand what we have to do in any numerical or in any question. So two things always help in numerical. First, summarize the data. That will help you to understand which kind of formula we have to use, because in chapter lot of formula we have, and sometimes students are very confused which of the formula we have to use. So for that case, only first summarize data. After that, if there is a figure you can draw, then draw the figure. So that two things helps to clear your mind for the numerical, what you have to do. That give you a step. So you have to do that always while solving the numerical problems. Clear? So next question is given from the same question. It is given that if the bar magnet is turned around by 180 degree, where will be the new null point is located? Means here this bar magnet, that its null point was at P, where we have got this one value of magnetic field. If we will turn it around the 180, means if here is south, then south will be here, north will be here. Then for that case, what will be the null point, location of the null point from the center of the magnet? So obviously whenever we will turn it, then that time if it was supporting the or opposing the Earth's magnetism, now it will try to suppose the Earth magnetic field. So that due to that we have here, obviously there will be change in the null point. So don't think that if we have to change south pole by north pole, there will be no change in the magnetism. Reason is that, you know, Earth is already behaving like a magnet. So somewhere if suppose along the south pole of the Earth we have, and this is south north pole of the Earth suppose, and this is the north south pole of the magnet here. So in this case, if suppose we have just put our bar magnet in such a way and we have got null point. Now if we will just start to change or rotate the bar magnet by 180 degree, then obviously null point will be changed, because the behavior of attraction is now changed by a repulsion here. So it means that null point will be at somewhere distance away or near. Then let's see where it will be whenever we will turn it around 180 degree. So for 180 degree turn, you can understand the null point, that is. So now let's solve the numerical problem that just written. So here as I just told you, we have a condition for which we have to find out the position of null point whenever we will just change the position of this bar magnet by just rotating it 180 degree. So let's just solve it. So to solve this one, if we will just change the direction of the bar magnet by rotating it 180 degree, then that time its obviously south pole will lie in geographic north-south direction, and or sorry, I think I'm just saying wrong. Suppose in starting if we had the condition that was null point that we were getting due to the Earth's magnetism that has value 0.36 Gauss at this point P, then you know that the geographic north direction in which magnetic south directions lie, and in the case of magnetic south direction, geographic north directions lie. So it means that here at this place, if we will just put, then here should be the south directions of the magnetic field, so that this can reduce the effect of these two and we can get some of the null point here. But whenever we will rotate it by 180 degree, then that time the south pole of this magnet will be at this side and north pole will be this side. Means now the south pole will be besides the south pole. That means it will try to now just repel this one. So due to the repulsion, now the position of null point will change. So let's write down what will be the value here. And also one more thing, if you will see, this one will attract and this one will repel. Here the value of null point we will got on the equatorial axis. Whenever we will change it by 180 degree, the null point will be located at the equatorial axis. Then to find out that case, we can calculate what will be the magnetic field at equatorial axis. And you know that the magnetic field at equatorial axis, this is given by mu 0 upon 4 pi. This is m upon r cube. So this is the value of the magnetic moment at equatorial point, and suppose this is given by some BH here. Now as this BH suppose that in starting that the question we have taken here at P, the null point in the previous question, if it is at the r distance, then suppose at equatorial point the null point is lying at x distance from here. So we can write in the place of r, that is x cube, and here the BH that you are seeing, that is the null point at this location. So obviously it was given in our question at axial point there was a location P where we were getting null point, and for the null point the magnetic field for any axial condition can be written as mu 0 upon 4 pi 2m upon r cube. And now we are getting the null point at x distance for the same magnet, so we can represent it by equatorial one. So this should be equal to this one, the condition for the null point that we got before for here. So whenever we will get null point due to this one, we can equate that one. Now if you will equate these two equations, then mu 0 upon 4 pi will be cancelled out, m will be cancelled out from here, and finally after solution we can obtain that is 1 upon x cube. This should be equal to 2 upon r cube from here. Now this is the things that we have got, and one more thing here that was given in our question, that is the value of r. So value of r we had, that was 14 centimeter. So we can put the value of 14 centimeter from here, and first as we have to calculate x, then we can find out x is equal to x cube is equal to from here, this will be equal to r cube upon 2. Or we can also write x is equal to r upon 2 power 1 by 3. Here you can take cube root from here. Now you can put the value of r. So value of r was given 14 centimeter, and 2 power 1 by 3 its value you can put and solve, and after solution we can obtain the value that is comes out to be near about 11.11 centimeter. So this is now the position of null point whenever we have rotated our magnet by 180 degree. So friends, as you know that when we are rotating any magnet in external magnetic field, and external magnetic field is here, that is Earth's magnetic field, then it is experiencing some torque, and due to that torque we are getting net force in different directions. That's why null point always changes whenever there is rotation of the magnet in Earth's magnetism. So clear, this question is clear. That's why I have taken two types of questions here to make you understand how can we understand and how can you find out the two conditions that are given in your question for the null point. Clear, I think. So the next question that we have, that is at a certain location in Africa, a compass point 12 degree west of the geographic north. The north tip of the magnetic needle of a dip is placed in the plane of the magnetic meridian point 60 degree above the horizontal. The horizontal component of the Earth's magnetism is measured to be 0.16 Gauss. Then specify the direction and magnitude of the earth field at the location. So here it is given that we have a location for which if we have put any compass, then that is 12 degree west to the geographic north, means the direction of the compass tells us about the location of the point. And now it is given that we have the angle of declination that is equal to delta, here that is given 60 degree, means the angle of the total net magnetic field at any point with the horizontal direction of the meridian, that is exactly equal to 60 degrees. So as earth element I have told you already and we have discussed before. So here the value of delta is given to us, that is 60. Next one, it is given, we have the value of horizontal field, it is given to us, and its value is equal to 0.16 cos. Now we have to find out first the magnetic field at that direction, means net magnetic field we have to find. So you know that the horizontal component of magnetic field at any location, that is B cos delta. So to just remind you this one thing, we can draw a diagram here. So for this diagram, if you will see, so this was the open book diagram that I have told you already to understand the meridians. So this one is geographic meridian, this one is magnetic meridian, and if if you will see in magnetic meridian, this represent the direction of net magnetic field. So for this net magnetic field, here the angle that it is forming, this magnetic field with this horizontal axis, this is known as this angle delta, angle of inclination. So this angle delta, for which we can get two components of the magnetic field, horizontal component and vertical component. So that horizontal component will be obviously B cos delta and vertical component will be B sin delta. So B cos delta is given to us, this value is 0.16 cos. So and cos delta is given, then we can find out what will be the net magnetic field. So this will be 0.16. So here as the cos delta, it is given already here 60, and cos 60 you know that that is equal to 1 by 2. So here you can write 1 by 2, and now you can solve it. So this is 0.32 Gauss we have. So this is the value of net magnetic field that we have got here. Now the second question in the same here that we had to set, that was the direction of the magnetic field. So as the direction of the magnetic field that was given the 12 degree west from the geographic north-south direction. So it means that here this the net magnetic field will lie at the angle of 60 degree in upward direction to the direction of the west to north-south direction. So as here actually 12 degree that is given to us, that was angle of inclination is given to the magnetic meridian. This alpha, it is given to 12 degree we have, and also if you can see the direction of the magnetic field here, so that is from this direction of north-south, it is 60 degree in upward direction, as because it is in west direction. Clear? So upward and down direction you can understand by west, and it's that is given to you for any location. So in the west direction we are getting magnetic field, net magnetic field here, that is in upward direction, and it should be if it was east, then that was we are getting in downward direction. Clear? I think there is no confusion here for this one case. So number of questions students here we can take and we can solve, and number of things as we have studied for us magnetism, we have studied for magnetic material, we have studied, and also for the magnetic dipoles, Gauss law, Coulomb's law, number of concepts we have studied. So you can solve the numerical problems on the basis of every one concept. So the next question is, that is, can we shield any magnetic region or any region from the magnetic field? So just like student we have discussed for the electrostatic shielding, can we do it for the magnetostatic condition also? Means magnetostatic shielding, can we do it or not? Means if we have to just save some of the material inside the magnetic field, then how can we save it? like we have just saved our instruments from the electrostatic field or lightning, thundering, this kind of conditions by just putting any instrument inside the any hollow cavity that is made by a conductor, as it has property inside the conductor electric field is zero. Can we make sometimes some things in that way? So as you know that whenever you will just um, make any solenoid by some hollow core, or if any toroidal shape you are just making by using soft iron, then in that toroidal shape we have seen that inside this one magnetic field is zero. So whenever the current will be set up inside it or somewhere, due to the magnetic field, that will go from the this soft iron core, but it will not enter inside this one. So we can put the material that has to save from the magnetic field inside it to keep it safe only. So yes, magnetostatic shielding we can do by using some soft iron rings or cores, you can say, in the forms of ring, and so that all of the current that will flow through this one, so the net magnetic field inside it will be zero, means we can keep safe it. But it is not that kind of approximate that we have got for the electrostatic condition. Like there we have got a conductor, that is the something material for which we were getting electrostatic shielding perfectly, but here we will not get that perfectly as by the help of soft iron, because it is not the property of soft iron that inside it, if we will make some cavity inside it, there will be zero magnetic field. It is the property of the exactly space inside it, because there is no current. But whenever we are just using external magnetic field outside it, then there should be penetration of some of the magnetic field inside, then approximate shielding is not possible. But yes, we can shield the material or things by external magnetic field by this process. So student, this was one concept based problem, that was very good problem, so that's why I have taken just here. So let's see the next numerical problem here. So next numerical problem, that the things we have studied for the talk. So let's see one numerical problem based on that. So number of topics I have touched here, and I have told you the numerical problems on that. Even in classes I have explained number of problems there. So here one thing, a question is given: a closely wound solenoid of 2000 tons and area of cross section 1.6 into 10 to the power 4 meters square, carrying a current of 4 ampere, is suspended through its center, allowing it to turn in a horizontal plane. So it is given that we have a solenoid and that is suspended freely, that can turn or rotate here. So it means that simple about the talk we can talk here for this case. So first let's see the solenoid. The information is given. This is, we have total number of turns in solenoid 2000, and it has area of cross section. This is given to this one. This is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 4 meters square, and current that is passing through it, this is 4 ampere. So first thing about with this information we can calculate, that is magnetic moment of the solenoid. So as magnetic moment, you know that it is given for any bar magnet or any circular loop. So as you know that the magnetic dipole or solenoid is equivalent to any bar magnet. That topic we have discussed also. So as solenoid is equivalent to bar magnet, or bar magnet is equivalent to solenoid, so for that case, as bar magnet is already a magnetic dipole, the solenoid will be also magnetic dipole, then it will have some magnetic moment. And for any current carrying device, magnetic moment is given by this formula. So let's just calculate for this formula. That is 2000 we have, this is 4, this is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 4, this was given to us. And from here, if you will just solve this one, then you can find out this is 1.28, sorry 12.8 into 10 to the power minus 1, or overall you can obtain 1.28 ampere meter square, this value of magnetic moment for the solenoid that is given to us. Next one thing here, question, now just come to it again. This is only the data that I have written here. question is, first question we have, that is, what is the magnetic moment associated with the solenoid? So this is the magnetic moment that we have calculated. This is associated with solenoid. Second question is here, what are the force and torque on the solenoid if a uniform magnetic field of 7.5 into 10 power minus 2 Tesla is set up at an angle of 30 degree with the axis of solenoid? So here a question is given to us, what will be the torque experienced by the solenoid whenever we are just suspending the solenoid in external magnetic field B at some angle theta. Then you know that the any freely suspended magnet in external field that have some magnetic moment and external field is B, and it is just rotated by some angle theta or suspended at some angle, then it is experiencing a torque and its value is this one. So let's write down the values that we have already to calculate the torque here. So this is 1.28 and the value of magnetic field is given here 7.5 into 10 to the power minus 2 Tesla, and sine theta, theta is given to us 30 degree. So sine theta is 1 by 2 here, and now you can calculate the values of the magnetic torque. So this is totally obtained to be 0.048 Newton meter. So this value we are getting for the torque here. Next one here, a question that was given to us, net force. So as body is rotating due to the torque, so net force if you will see, then that is 0 on the body. So reason is that due to torque body will try to regain its position, that's why the net force acting on it, that will be 0 because it will come in stable equilibrium condition. So students, I think the questions at number of various of topics that we have discussed in chapter, we have seen the number of conceptual problems, number of numerical problems here. So I think now you should practice more and more on numericals and concept based problems, and if I think all the things are clear, then today we will completely end this chapter. So in next class we will start the next chapter, that is electromagnetic induction. So let's just start that chapter in our next class. So for today I think this is enough. So let's just end our class here. So thank you students.